Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 17 here on Stappenbach. Although I have been told in the comment section that maybe I should do that the other way round. Say welcome back to Stappenbach, playing here in Farming Simulator 17. So now I'm just confused because I'm pretty sure I was doing it the other way round, and then I was doing it that way round, and then I was doing it the other way round, and things, yeah. I don't really know whether I'm coming or going at the moment. And I don't know which way up is down. Welcome back to something, here on something. We're playing Farming Simulator, and we're doing the Stappenbach map, and beyond that, I'm just generally a little bit confused. How's that? How's that for an intro? I'm not sure if when I did the last recordings, I'm pretty sure I was still using my original headphones. Yes, I was, because we had fuzziness, didn't we? We had the fuzziness, and then I changed it after. I've been having some issues with fuzziness. Some of you know I've been having issues with fuzziness because you've seen some previous episodes where I had issues with fuzziness. And I was getting, like, odd bits coming up. It's because the microphone jack and headphone jack for my headset on the PC, the actual jack into the PC, is on its way out. And I'd sort of come up with a temporary fix where I was kind of wedging it over to one side. The temporary fix no longer seems to work, and now it doesn't do anything at all. I'm just getting random intermittent fuzziness no matter what I do with the leads or how I twist them or move them or whatnot. And replacing those sorts of jacks is rather tedious, time-consuming, and can be quite expensive, especially for someone like me who doesn't really know what they're doing with it. So I'd have to pay someone else or risk completely destroying my PC. Not really an option. So what I've done is I now have an adapter. I know I'm not actually doing anything in the game. I probably should be. So I'm going to get a chainsaw out and we'll start cutting down a couple of trees in a minute. I'm going to go make a purchase first. So, yes, we're going to... I've got this adapter. It's a USB adapter. I plug the microphone into the USB adapter and it should do everything absolutely right. 77,000. We haven't done any missions, I don't think, in this game yet. At least not for this series. So I'm going to do a mission. This is what we're going to do first. We're going to do a mission. We're going to take this wonderful, beautiful fence. We're going to go over to here, and we're going to hitch those on, like that. And then we're going to get this fleagle on, and we're going to spread slurry all over this field right here. Go back a bit. There we go. Right. Now we can start spreading slurry. So, yes, I've got this adapter going, and... It does make my voice sound a little bit different on the final edit. There isn't a huge amount that I can do about that. I've not had any complaints yet. A lot of the videos that I did last week were with this new adapter. I think it's basically my voice had a little bit more bass to it after I'm still doing the same type of edit to my voice that I was doing previously, and I think I ended up with a slightly deeper sounding voice with the previous setup than I do with this one. Because of the way the adapter is working, it's kind of removing some of the deeper resonances from my voice, although it must be said I am adding some of that because of the way that I edit the sound. I do edit it to give it a slight bass boost as well, and so I'm still doing all of that. It's just it does sound slightly different to me. But I was busy going and looking through the analytics on YouTube, and it tells you, you know, how many males and females watch your videos, how old people are who watch your videos, what country you come from, and what adverts you watch, what adverts you don't watch, and, you know, all kinds of useful information that I very rarely pay very much attention to, because I tend to just sort of do what I want to do on here and then let people like it or not. But what I was looking at was the playback devices. Now, when I started doing this, the majority of playback devices, and when I say majority, I mean about 75% of playback devices were computer, either a PC or a laptop. 75% just a few years ago. Now, the PC, laptop, any kind of personal computer playback device accounts for 25% roughly of total playbacks. More than half of the playbacks are now on phone or tablet. And to me, that's quite an amazing thing. That in just a couple of years, we've gone from 3/4 of you watching me on a PC to more than half of you watching me on a phone or a tablet. And I've sort of... I found this quite pleasing, actually, because I've been a little bit concerned that the change in how my voice sounds is going to really bug some of you, because I know that the changes do bug some people. So I was kind of like a little bit concerned that this change is going to negatively impact and sort of see what sort of difference it would make. But as most of you now seem to be watching me on a phone, I don't think phones produce enough sort of... I don't think the speaker quality... See, look at that. I'm spreading slurry all over... Hang on. No. Back up. I got him. Only a little bit, but I did. I sprayed his tyres with slurry. Brilliant. I just wanted to do that. I don't know why. I've always had a keen desire to spray somebody's car with slurry. Probably not something I should ever actually carry out in real life, because may get into a spot of bother with that. But anyway, yeah. I don't think that the speakers on the phone are usually good enough quality for you to be able to have like a major difference. Unless, of course, you've got headphones plugged in. And then it could make a huge difference. So, yeah. Let me know in the comment section if it's, like, really hugely affected your enjoyment of the series or anything like that. I'm really looking for feedback about the quality of the sound, and I will do what I can. So we earned just over 1,000 for that one, and this one here is now 75,000 instead of 77,000 or 75,500. So basically we got 2.5 grand knocked off for spreading a little bit of slurry. That's not too shabby. I mean, yes, we've only got 17,000. The reason I'm doing this is because I want this field. We need to be able to have some space to work, and I figured having the field here would be quite good, because we've literally just got a straight jaunt right down there, and then we can easily process logs and stuff like that. So the first thing I want to do today is I want to just chop out a couple of these deciduous trees, which are going to be in our way, and we're not going to be wanting them to be interfering with all the games and the fun and the laughter that we've got lined up for today. Well, there may be laughter, I don't know. You'll probably be laughing at the way that I'm going to be operating any of the machinery. That would probably be the most accurate thing that's going to happen, I should say. Which way are we going? Right, we'll do it like that. There. It's not cutting very low to the ground. We'll take this tree out here, and I'm just going to step back a minute, and we're going to have a look. I don't know if we need to take any other trees out at all, actually. It might just be those two. Let's see. What are we going to want? I mean, that one by the road down there, I think we can ignore that one. If we're going up through here, we can ignore that one. I think we'll take this one down. Then we've got a nice wide area that we can work from. It should be nice and easy. Hopefully that tree's going to fall over. I'm cutting it in mid-air over here. Trees do some very funny things sometimes. They really do. They behave in a very peculiar fashion. It's very likely this is like a double tree. In fact, this tree could be anything right now. You get like double... Oh, there we go. I think it's cut. Yeah, I definitely think that one's cut. I think that one's out the way. Okay, so we've got a little bit of space that we can get in there with, and we're going to need to be able to get these trees down here, and... I want to get them in through there. Now, I was told that this bit in here, this is a bit different. We've got in here... well, I don't know if you can put logs in there, but there was something about the pallets that we've got that we're making down the bottom. Brettapalatin product empty pallet. We're making the Brettapalatin down there, and you bring them up, and then they turn them into empty pallets. So you bring one of them up, put it in, get the empty pallets out, and then there are other things around here that you get empty pallets for, and this is Holstam, which I think is just logs. I might try and bring a tree in here. One of those big trees. Actually, I know what I can do. I can get one of those little ones right there, and we'll see if we can do something with that. Because I want to take that tree down anyway. This one right here, because I think this one's in the way. If I go up to there... apparently I cannot do that. Alright, well, let's try just chopping the tree down completely. There we go. We'll hack this one off down here, and we'll take a log or a branch just and run it in there and see what it does. And we'll also try and get a pallet from in the actual sawmill, and we'll bring that one along as well, and we'll see if we can do something with that. There we go. Let's chop that one off. And we're going to leave the leaves on this one. Just run it in and see what it does. So there we go. We'll pick that one up there, and I'll go trotting in here. I do need to jump over. If I can. Let me jump. Okay, so the gate opens for a log, but it won't open for me. That's good to know. And now what? Why are you stopping again? Does some very strange things, doesn't it? Let's bring this one over, and I want to drop it in here. Don't I? Nope. Okay, it doesn't like that. Does it like it this side? Yes! Ah, so we just sell wood here, but it doesn't look like we sell wood on that bit. It's got to go further back into the corner. But we can sell timber here. Now, can I go... Ah, sneaky. Very, very sneaky. I quite like it. Let's go... Oh, there we go. First tractor. Excellent. And we'll jump out of here. Now, we've got... wood chips in there, which are 40,000 litres, and we've got 80,000 litres of logs lined up on there, which are busy processing through, and they are turning into wood chips and boards. We've got 6% built on that pallet there. That is boards pallet on there, and then we got wood chips coming down there. But then the other one, that was different, wasn't it? Yeah, I can jump over. This one over here said Bretta Palatin. So now I'm a little bit confused. Why is it saying Bretta Palatin? We've got empty pallets on those 4. I'm guessing that gives us a stack of empty pallets. But Bretta Palatin, that's not the same as the other bit. And this is the bit that's... this is why I'm slightly confused on here. And we've got, there's the pallet sale place over here. Now this one, you've got Hack Schnitzel and Bretta Palatin. So there's the Hack Schnitzel there. And this one, oh, that's the same stuff. Right. Close that one up again. Yeah, well, that's both of those. That would be the pallets. So I think it's just the pallets that come off the sawmill. I think they've got a different name on them. We can sell whole logs in there, whole stam. And we can sell whole logs over where we were, just the other side of the fence over there. Or we can dump the whole logs right into that bit. So we're going to grab this one. We got 3 trees that we now want to bring down. And we either need to sell them or dump them onto that point there. So I'm going to see if it's possible to drag a full tree from here in through that gateway there. And this is going to be a difficult bit because that one's got a gate that like opens and closes. You can bring this one in like this if you want to, and you can try your absolute bestest to pick it up and do it all properly if you want to, but I prefer to do it like that because, quite frankly, the straps on these things are absolutely wonderful and they work really well, so I don't have to worry about it not working. Why are you not letting me in? If I got... Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. Is this not an automatic open? It's not. I thought it was an automatic. I was waiting for it to open. It's not automatic. I've just gone over to it and clicked it, and it opened without me having to do anything else. Okay, that was quite bad. Can do that, and then... Now, this is where it's going to get tricky, is trying to get the trees in here. Yes, I know, I'm going for absolute 100% realism here, as you can see. As always, really, we never do anything in these Let's Plays that is unrealistic in any way, shape, or form. You would always carry your trees whole like this. We'll probably try and cut the next ones up a little bit. I'm not going to be able to get through there. Okay, we'll dump that. We'll drop that one off. I've let go of the straps a minute, and We'll move it over there. I might actually be able to just kind of shunt this one forward bit by bit so we can get the whole tree in. I don't really care what happens to it. I just want to move it along a bit. Okay, now it's going quite so well. If I can get it to there, maybe I can now put the strap on. And, yeah, move it forward a bit. Nope. The strap isn't on at the moment, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. Oh, yes, it is, but it got the tree's gotten hooked around that bit down there. I just need to get, like, the edge of the tree now onto... Ooh. Oh, no, there we go. Right, now put that strap on there. Go forwards. Yes, we can do it. We're going to do it. Success! We did it! 450 euros. For all of that, we got 450 euros. I think we need to do a little bit more work on this. Okay, let's go back up here and we'll get the next tree. This time I'm going to cut it up a little bit, I think. We're not going to cut it up, like, hugely. And I know you get, like, a massive amount of money. Or you get a load of extra money if you strip all the leaves off. So maybe we could, like, do that a bit and then try and cut some of the rest of it off. I've found one of the best ways to do this, actually, to move these, is you do have to do some of this by hand. And then you maximize the money that you get from it. But you also, you can do it reasonably quickly. And that, to me, is, like, the more important part, is the speed of being able to get through this job fairly quickly. So bring it back out into the middle of the field, like this. And we take the strap off there. Now, we're in autumn at the moment, and quite frankly, it's starting to get later in the day. It's going to get quite dull, and we're not going to be able to see very well, basically. This is going to be the problem. We're just not going to be able to see. Now, the added advantage of doing this in the middle of the field is that all that sawdust that you leave behind, as soon as you go over the field with a cultivator or a plow or a seed drill or anything at all of that sawdust just disappears. So if you don't actually want to pick it up, but you do want to play with the added realism of having the sawdust in there in the first place, this is a really, really good compromise, I've found. And I actually really quite like doing it like this, because you wouldn't necessarily go and pick up all the sawdust. It's not really that sort of bit. I love the sawdust mods, but gathering, having to scrape up every single little bit of sawdust from your work, that's not overly realistic in my mind. And so I love having it here. And when you've got massive piles of the stuff, yes, I would actually go and pick some of it up. I've done that before because, you can use it for quite a few different things. But you certainly wouldn't try your best to scrape up everything if you've been doing a load of tree felling. You generally just leave a pile of sawdust to rot away in the corner, which is not something you can do. But this I like. As long as you can drag it into a field that you're actually going to be using, it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. And that's something that I do like. So this is quite a common way of me doing this. Now we've just got to get up onto here and get these last couple of branches off. There we go. Excellent. Right, so now we've stripped that one down. The next bit that we do is we cut it down into manageable branches. And this one you just cut each of those sections off, and then we cut that into a big section. We'll probably pick a couple of them up. Before I do that, though, we're going to speed up time like this. And we are going to play God. We are going to go racing through the night. I'm going to stop that one a minute. Why am I going forward? Or backward? Not really sure what it's doing. Shouldn't be doing that. I'm going to leave it there just for a minute. Now, we've got a load of milk with the cows. I don't think we're going to need to do anything. We don't need to worry about the cows tonight. And where is the cows? Here. We've got 17,000 litres of milk over there, but we're not... Yeah, see, we don't need to worry about the cows. We're probably going to have to give them some food tomorrow, at least tomorrow in the game. And so we've got to do something about that. This one here, we will actually put this one going because When we skip the night tonight, we can no longer put grass in for the cows. Now, I think they use up the grass that they've got in there, but you can't give them any extra grass. No more grass after tonight, at least not until the spring, because you're not allowed to feed them fresh grass. So we've got no fresh grass coming anywhere in the game at the moment for them. And once this bit here has gone all the way up through, we'll be just about ready to skip the night on this anyway. And then you'll have a tiny little bit of grass that's left, which we can't do anything with. And I have had issues with this before, where the feeder here gets a bit of grass on board, and then you can't do anything with it because you're no longer allowed to. You've gone into winter. You've moved into winter. We've gone from late autumn into winter, and you do have to wait until... Well, you used to have to wait until 8 o'clock. Let's see. You no longer have to wait until 8 o'clock. So we're going to skip until dawn, 8:19. Winter has fallen and animals need more care. The ground will be frozen. You cannot work your fields. It is time for forestry and ploughing. Now I have a... Right, we'll do okay and okay. Huh. The cursor has it's done this bug thing where the cursor disappears. And yeah, there's the cursor, and that's moving around. And there is a bug with this game that if you leave the message up too long with seasons, the cursor comes up on the screen, and then it stays on the screen, and you can never get rid of it. You've got to exit the. Well, I don't know if you have to exit the whole game, but yeah. I'm going to have to exit and come back in again a minute. Right, that's taking care of that. Our cows over there are starting to look more and more like mountaineers with every passing moment. And I still had it on 120 times speed, which was a little bit of a mistake. But we're 11:41 in the morning now, so we've got plenty of daylight. We can see what we're doing. And if you go through here now, you will see that we have some grass in here still. But only enough to last for the day, because you suddenly require a whole load more food for the cows, and straw for the cows and stuff like that. Water, not so much in the winter, but you do need a whole load of other food for them. We've got piles of manure, piles of liquid manure as well, and the milk tank has got 36,000 litres. But look at the mountaineering over here. Piles of the stuff. We're going to have to do something about that. The grass disappeared out the front, which I think it just did while it was doing the overnight thing. That one is nearly full, which is quite impressive, actually. So, yeah, we got a lot of stuff that we want to do. We're on minus 2,000 euros at the moment, but what I would like to do is I would like to get a truck, and I would like to actually back, and we want to go here. I want to get a truck, and I want to be able to lease it so that we can sell milk. Now, I'm going to borrow some money. I'm going to have to borrow as much as I possibly can. We're going to go all the way there. That's it. That's as much as we're at 142,000 is now our absolute limit on stuff that we can borrow. So we're going to go here and we're going to get a cheap truck. So that one there, the agro, well, I don't want that one. This is more a European one. So it's either going to be the man. That one there is one that I want to have a look at some point, but we can't right now. So the man TGS is a brilliant one. We're going for the Tatra this time. We're going to take that one, and we're also going to add a trailer hitch on it as well. This is 12,000 or 138,000 a buy. So we're going to lease this one. We'll keep the colours as they are. Yep, like that. Back out of there, and we'll go and get this tractor a minute. If I can find it. Actually, I do want to just have a look here and see how our beef animals are doing. How we got here? We got 5 calves ready to sell, and I mean, if we bought more mother cows, we'd do better. We got a load of manure in here as well that we're going to need to scrape out at some point. So we got a lot of work to do in there. That's good. We want lots of work to do in there. Now, of course, do we still have the milk tanker? Where is the milk tanker? I don't even remember where I left the milk tanker. I've still got the milk tanker. Right, I think the milk tanker is over near where the milk is. Oh, the milk sell point. I think we left it over there. Although I honestly don't remember at the moment. So let's get some lights on as we're travelling along the road. It has been pointed out that I did originally intend this series to be about, not necessarily this series right here, but I did originally intend for us to be doing like a different map every 4 weeks so we could start showcasing loads of different maps. And we are now on our third 4-week session. We're just coming to the end of our third 4-week session here on this map, and we're about to embark on another 4-week session. Our backstory was that we were going to go to a new area and a new farm every 4 weeks with a suitcase full of money from Agco, and we were going to help them out. So what are we still doing here? Like, we've done a number of 4-week sessions. What are we still doing here? What possible reason could we have for being here for 6? We've done 12. We've been here 3 months now. 12 weeks. And, well, almost 3 months. Why are we still here? We're about to stay here we're about to embark on another 4 weeks here, right? So we're going to be here for 16 weeks. That doesn't fit with the backstory that we'd originally made. I think it does sort of fit with the backstory a little bit. It's just that we're going to have to give it a little bit of creative adjustments. And my creative adjustment to this backstory is that instead of, you know, just giving a little bit of advice, the farmer that we've come to is in a lot of trouble. And so we've given a load of advice, and he's followed it, and he's done a load of things. But he's not entirely happy that it's, you know, we came here and he had piles of machinery. He didn't have very much land, but he was doing all right. And now at the moment, he's 1.375. So he's essentially 1.4 million euros in debt. He's not entirely pleased about being 1.4 million euros in debt, considering he didn't have any debt when we first arrived. And so he's insisting that we do at least try to do a little bit extra to help him out. I suppose that's fair enough. So this is what we're doing. We're going to keep guiding him through this, and ultimately he's going to end up paying us back some of this money. At least that's kind of like the idea. That's kind of what I figured. Right, now we've got our truck over here is ready to start loading. If I press R there, farm fresh milk. There we go. All loading up. That actually looks pretty good, that does. Except if I come out here to look at it, it doesn't look so good, does it? So I want to come over here, and I want to be able to see this properly. There we go. Farm fresh milk. Loading up quite nicely. Perfect. There. Farm fresh milk. We get this one all loaded up, and that's going to be a nice big chunk of money to come in for us, which is absolutely excellent. And then we can get that. So, yeah, we've got that money. That'll go towards getting some of the forestry stuff. And we're going to be getting a whole load of forestry stuff now. Getting a load of money from selling timber and things like that. And hopefully we'll get a good chunk of it done today. We don't need to worry at the moment about the power food, base food thing. We are going to have to do that, but we've got time today to just sort of carry on and do things a bit. If we come out here... Never ever use your size and weight to force others off the road. That is one of the primary things that is written in the highway code for here in the UK. And so, what you do, you take from that, is that, using your size and weight to force others off the road might be a way to advance your own progress just a little bit faster. And I know quite a number of people that do that. You see it all the time. You see lorry drivers do exactly what I did. Just barge in front. Hey, I'm bigger. You really want to argue with me? I'm a lot bigger than you. And then off they go. And yeah, and they just get away with it. And it's absolutely shocking and appalling. And I'd probably do the same if I could. Actually, I don't know if I would. They do tend to come down on it a little bit harder these days. They'll the police. They do. It is frowned upon a lot more than it ever used to be. That bit right there. That bit right there, that really does irritate me. Especially... Seriously? I'm completely locked up against that now. Look at that. Let's try and... There, right. I really don't like that that one there has got a collision on it, right? That the very end of that spout. Mainly because that's not particularly realistic. If you went into a yard and you seen that out, that would be pulled back up out the way. If that's like right in where you're driving through, I can't see that you'd have something like that hung out over. You'd have that moved out of the way. Anyway, we need to come over to here, and then we can unload our farm fresh milk. There we go. Look at the money rolling in. I don't think we've done too bad out of that, really. All empty. 26,000 euros from one load of milk. And the majority of that milk came overnight during the winter. You do seem to get a lot more milk during the winter than you do during the summer. Let's bring that... This setup here really isn't good for getting tankers in and out, is it? This is the sort of facility where you don't have the articulated tankers. You have the really, really small ones, the little short, dumpy ones. Unfortunately, we don't have a short, dumpy tanker here, so we got to use one of these. But next time, we might have to back up the other way and swing out there. But we'll leave it here for now. I know we've got it on lease, but yeah, we'll leave it here anyway. And we're going to go over to this one, and I'm going to put some lights on just to try and help us out a little bit. And we're going to start cutting, and you can see, because I had to log out of the game and log back in again, we've got green trees over there where we cut them down. That's just a thing with seasons that they don't think there's very much that they can do about that. So, I mean, it's only a minor detail, it doesn't really matter. So, what I like to do is I take these off, and I cut them into chunks that I can actually pick up. So, we take this one over here, and then chop that one off there. They're a lot easier to manage if you can pick them up, right? We'll take that one there, and then I'll also cut this one at roughly the same sort of spot. Take that one off of there, and then I can move these branches around. It's quite surprising. When you've got the ends of the branches, you can actually move quite a lot of them around fairly easily as well. That one's too heavy. So then we'll come over to this side here, and I want to cut right through that piece there. Take that one off, and you cut at every joint. The secret to this is to cut every joint. So I've got another bit up here where I'm actually going to want to cut it. I want to cut that one off there, like that. Take that one off. You can, if you get this right, you can actually pick up the whole tree in one go. There we go. We've got another branch there. Bring all the loose branches to one position. And I do usually do this in 2 loads. It's easy. You can do it in one if you want to. If you've got like a long distance to go and you've just got this grab, you can do it in 1 load. But I do actually prefer to do this in 2 loads. It just makes it easier. And you can do this quite easily in 2 loads with just a couple of easy movements with the loader. So we've got that big long branch out there. This one's going to require a couple of chops. We're going to do one right there, like that. Take that end piece off, and then I'm going to do another one right next to it. That's going to go there, like that. Take that piece off. And then we pick these 2 branches up here, and we bring them over, and we put on our pile of small pieces over this side. And you do have to be a little bit careful when putting them down, right? Because otherwise they spin around a bit, and that's quite a bit of a nuisance. So just go slowly and carefully when you're moving them around, because you can like chuck them about quite a bit, and that's actually not a good thing. You really don't want to be doing that if you can help it. Let's put some light on us as well. That makes it a lot easier. Right, that's sort of alright. I know I'm chucking it around a bit there. And then we've got one here, and I'm going to cut this one right about there, and I'm hoping we'll actually be able to pick part of that up, but I don't know if we will. Oh, yes, we can. Right, we'll take that one with us. That one comes over onto the pile of small logs. Just put that one down there, and then we've got that piece up there. I'm going to take that one off at about there. You've got to look at where you're picking this one up, and I would say, really, we want to pick this one up about down here. The great big log. We want to put that one about there, I think. So we take that one off. like that. And there. And then we can bring that one back, I would say, about there, and chop that one off. The branch behind us, if we cut that one in half, it's going to be fairly easy then to move that one as well. This one can stay as it is. We'll be able to pick that one up. And we bring that one over here and just dump that lot on there. Try not to get too close to them. If you get too close, they start to move around a lot more. This one, I am actually surprised that I can't pick this one up. This one is literally borderline. I'm going to cut it straight in half. Rather than cutting it, it'll shave off of one end. If you cut it straight in half, it just will make life easier for you in the long run. And bring these over here. Try to put the smaller bits right in the middle if you can. And we've got ourselves a little bit of a timber stack there. We've got one big branch there. We've got one big branch there. And we've got one big-ish branch here. Now, this one here, I could probably pick this one up if I cut it in half, but I'm not going to this time. Those three can stay like that, and then the others can stay like they are. And like I said, you can, if you're careful, you can pick up the entire tree in one go. It does require a little bit more careful work. You've got to pick up the 3 big logs first, and then manually load all the others into the forks as you go along. So you want to bring this one along like that, and try and get that. So you just start moving them. Put the straps on now, like that. And then just pick them up like that. There. I know that's not realistic. You can, if you want to. I could take all of those logs and all the little branches, and I could load them in one at a time, right back into the grab, and that would pick it. It picks them up really quickly, and it does work, right? It works really well doing that. Now, as we've got both of these, our best bet is to bring the small ones down here and drop these into this one here. So I'm going to bring them up high over it like that, and then just take the straps off like that. That'll drop all of them in like that, and I come in, and you can see it's not like used up a lot. I mean, we did use up quite a few overnight, but we've now, so you're using up all the small ones on that and filling that up and turning them into planks, which is quite a good use for them, because the small tiny branches like that aren't worth very much money at all. We'll come up here and just generally ignore the fact that we don't own this field that we're now driving on. And the next lot here, these bigger ones, I reckon we'll be better off selling these as whole logs. And again, you can do this however you like. You can pick it up with the grab like this. Now, bigger logs, they work a lot better with the actual grab. You can pick them up like this without having to use the straps. And I recommend, if you're going to run around at all, put straps on, because it stops them from sliding, and you're actually able to pick them up a lot better. I find that picking them up like this is usually the best way to pick them up. There, just do that. And then this great big one down here, if I open that up like that, I can just slide in there like that and close it down a bit. That's going to struggle to pick that one up as well. It is. So if I just put the strap over it anyway, and then I can put that one down just for a bit of realism. So it's just pinching the log. It's not putting undue pressure on it, but it is pinching it a little bit. You can see right there, we've got it pinched. I'd say that's good enough. And we then take these off down, and we can sell these at the mill. So it's 2 simple runs. There's a little bit of prep work using the chainsaw, but you got 2 then very easy runs to go and move it, and you've cleared a tree. And yeah, it's still a time-consuming process. Anything moving these, one thing with this game is moving the trees is a time-consuming process, and it is quite realistic, I must admit, moving that. So there, we got 2,500 for that particular branch, and then those 2 as well. We got nearly another grand for that as well. So we're looking at roughly 3,300 euros for that. Those branches on the tree, plus we put a little bit more into the sawmill. You get a reasonable return on it, and we didn't spend all that long doing that work, did we? I mean, not in the grand scheme of things. We didn't spend like masses and masses of time doing it. If we take the tree down exactly as it is like that, we're not going to get anywhere close to the amount of money that we just got then. So yeah, I like to do a little bit when it comes to doing time-lapse. If I'm like not doing time-lapse, I'm more inclined to do a bit more work with the trees. But when it comes to time-lapse, I found that don't really want to do too much of this, because using the chainsaw, doing any handwork with chainsaw in time-lapse footage ends up just looking terrible. It doesn't matter what you do, it just looks bad. It's awful, it really is. And I've tried it a few different times, and the only way I've been able to get it to work is to really, really slow it down to the point where it's barely even time-lapse, and it kind of defeats the whole point of the series of being able to do lots of farming in a short space of time. So I did stop doing that. It wasn't sort of fitting in with what I wanted to accomplish with the series. And so now I tend to just go and get that wood chipper thing and dump that through. If you're not concerned about wood chips, if you're not concerned about like getting the money, you can just get a wood chipper and you can shred the whole tree. Now there is a couple of placeables you can get where you can just shred a whole tree anyway, and you can dump the tree right into it. You can have the thing installed in field, and you can go and just shred up the tree. That works, and it works really well. I've done that. I did that in Sandy Bay. I got one that I just placed down, and then I was dumping whole trees into it, and it shreds them up and brings them out, and it's really good. It really is excellent, and I would thoroughly recommend it. And it's also reasonably realistic. I've seen things like that operating in real life. So if you want the realism side to it as well, that is a definite thing that you should consider. We just haul that one out. Of course, the other one is what I was doing on Sandy Bay. Take a whole tree like this and let the people that work in the sawmill deal with the tree. They're going to deal with that tree. I don't have to. And they'll cut it all up and they'll do whatever they need to do with it, and I don't need to worry about it at all. So there's 92,000 litres in there, and I could go and get another tree, and I could do the same with that if I wanted to, or I could take that wood chipper there and run that one up. And thank you very much to the people in the comment section last week who told me the correct way round to fasten on the attachment for that wood chipper. I'd have to go and look at the comments to make sure that I got it the right way around. But yeah, I had a lot of helpful comments in the comment section last week about how I should be attaching up the correct way around to put it, and that was absolutely brilliant. So really thank you very much to the people that contributed to that, because it has genuinely made a difference. This is quite a heavy tree. This really is quite a heavy tree. We'll bring this one down here. We'll see if we can get it. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to squeeze this one into the sawmill. I'm hoping I can, but I just got a feeling it's not going to fit. Fantastic! That is brilliant. Look at that. Right, we'll take that one off of there, and we'll leave it there. Now, that one's not going to do anything for a minute. It's absolutely not going to work, because we've got 92,000 litres of logs in the sawmill. And also the sawmill has stopped. We've got the 2 board pallets there, which are needing to be removed before it'll fire up again. The only thing I don't like about this one is it's not been modified to push these pallets out. I don't know if I've actually played. I've seen a couple of maps, at least, that have added an additional script in for this, where they got it on a conveyor belt. So the pallet is made, and then it goes on a conveyor belt, and it gets slid out, and you can end up with like 10 to 20 of these pallets all lined up, rather than just 1 or 2. And it, in my opinion, is a better option. I do prefer to have it like that. Yeah, we can work with what we've got. So this one here, we're done with this for now. The next job that we're going to do is we want to cut down some more trees, but we're not going to be using this machine here to do it, and we're going to be wanting to get an actual Ponzi Scorpion. We're going to use the base game. Ponzi Scorpion is the one I always use. The reason for that, it's absolutely awesome. I love using that machine when it comes to forestry work. To me, it is an absolute godsend. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing. It does exactly what you need it to do. It doesn't raise any questions or anything like that. It's completely realistic. You go in, you cut down the pine trees, and it gives you logs. It's wonderful. It's absolutely amazing. And then you can either go in and pick the logs up with an auto-load trailer, or you can pick them up using that Stole log grab that I got there. I don't like using any other log grabs that are available in the game. I find them to be absolutely hideous and horrible and disgusting, and I genuinely despise them because they don't pick the logs up properly. I really do hate them. It's one of those things. You may have noticed there's occasionally things in this game, like, I really do, I'm on the verge of rage quitting Farming Simulator. Now, rage quitting Farming Simulator is, it's not like, you see people who rage quit first person shooters and stuff like that all the time. That's like quite a common thing. But rage quitting Farming Simulator, my goodness me. And other log grabs, they make me, seriously, I'm like on the verge of rage quitting this game. And that one there in particular, this is a horrible log grab. It doesn't close properly, right? You've got this great big open thing. So unless you're picking up 30 million logs all at once, you can't hold on to them. They're flying all over the place. And then you have enough that you can sort of, get a grip on them. And it doesn't want to pick them up at all. And then it sort of, they all flap around together and it drops them anyway. And, no. Okay, I'm not doing it. I'm not buying it. I'm not using it. I'm not getting involved. That one does not exist to me. Okay? It does not exist to me. It is nothing. It is nothing to me. It means nothing to me. And I'm not getting upset about it either. I absolutely refuse to even be drawn into any kind of discussion, because anybody that thinks that one is a good log grab is obviously wrong, or a fruitcake short of a picnic. It's hideous, and this is where everybody says, what are you talking about, Frith? That one's like really easy. It's like one of the best log grabs in the game, dude. You need to take a chill pill, and you need to learn how to play the game, noob. Maybe. Just maybe. Yeah. It doesn't work for me, okay? It doesn't work for me. Right, I think it's actually quicker to take our shortcut. It's our fields, and it's the middle of winter. The ground's frozen. We own the fields. If we want to drive across them like this, we can. There is nothing that is going to stop us from doing that. But we've run out of time for today's episode, so we're going to carry on next time. We'll be getting a Ponzi Scorpion into that stand of trees right there. I'm going to start cutting a few of them out, and I'm thinking that we're going to have a go at loading some of the logs onto a log trailer manually. We're going to use the stole log grab down here, just for the added benefit of using those straps, because they're really useful, and for the fact that there is no other log grab in the game. It's the only one. They made this game without actually putting any log grabs in. Terrible oversight, it really was. But fortunately, we've got that mod there, and there's a link in the description. So yeah, we've managed to overcome the fact that they didn't put a log grab in the game. Okay, it's not my fault. Don't blame me. There is no other log grabs in the game. That's it. That is the only one, and I had to mod it in. I didn't have to mod it in. Someone else had to mod it, and I used the mod. Right? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. No questions. No questions. Right, so if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. We're just going to see what putting this pallet up here does, because I'm pretty sure this is a Bretta Paladin. I'm sure it is. Are you a Bretta Paladin? It's got 4,000. It's got 4,000 on the number board. What's it going to do? I don't actually want to fast forward it at all. I'm just going to leave it like that, and we'll come back to that next time. So, yeah, until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.